One of the most colourful establishments in the South African Army is its alma mater, the South African Army College at Voortrekkerhoogte. The cornerstone of the main building, which today houses the college, was laid in 1902 by Lord Kitchener of Khartoum. Here, a rich and colourful tradition built up over many generations is symbolised in the traditional colours of fighting units, in the colourful uniforms, in military bands. Earlier, used to accompany soldiers into battle, today the splendour at ceremonial occasions. All here against the background of Boer commandos and British regiments, heritages of which live on in the emblem of the various corps of the South African Army. But what is the role of the army in South Africa today? And what is the role of the individual in this army, which, for its size, is regarded as the best in the world? The South African Army, like the Swiss, is a citizen army, and has, in the recent past, proved that, like the Israelis, it can strike hard and fast. The South African Defence Force consists of 4 arms of the service, of which the Army is the largest. The other 3 are the Air Force, the Navy, and the medical services. The South African Air Force is responsible for air defence and defence. The Air Force assists the Army during landward operations. The South African Air Force employs a variety of fixed-wing aircraft, such as strike, transport and light aircraft, as well as various types of helicopters. For air defence, the Air Force uses sophisticated inter-aircraft equipped with air missiles and guns, radar systems and ground-to-air missiles. The Air Force and the combined maritime operations using helicopters and maritime reconnaissance aircraft. The role of the South African Navy is to undertake offensive and defensive operations to protect the country against any seaward threat. To this end, the Navy uses strike craft, submarines, frigates, patrol, and other specialized vessels. These vessels are equipped with a variety of guns, missiles, and other weapon systems. role of the South African medical services is to supply continuous and comprehensive medical aid to each member of the Defence Force. In this way, the medical services give medical support to the Army, the Air Force and Navy wherever they may operate from home base to operational area. The Chief of the Army, Lieutenant General Leër Grensoorlog, describes the role of the Army.
We have to plan and prepare ourselves for fighting the land battle. The land battle we can divide into two categories. Firstly, conventional warfare, and secondly, insurgency warfare. Now, the ultimate aim with both these two types of threats or war is to overthrow the government and to replace it with a government to the liking of the conquerors. By conventional warfare, I mean war in which one uses in the army tanks, field guns, armored cars, together with the weapon systems of the Air Force and the Navy, like aircraft, ships, submarines. But in the case of insurgency warfare, there is not such a direct threat against our own forces. The terrorist aims his actions against the population. These include soft intimidation like subversion and propaganda, and then they also apply hard intimidation, meaning arson, abduction, political assassination, assaults, and so on. The idea being that over a long period, the public or the population will lose its will to resist. So in this case, we have to include in our countermeasures, firstly, attacking the terrorists in their bases, secondly, to conduct border control operations to prevent infiltration, and thirdly, to conduct search and destroy operations against those terrorists who succeeded in infiltrating. Then there are also more defensive type operations like the protection of vulnerable points and the protection of the local population. This type of war we have been fighting with considerable success for a number of years in Southwest Africa.
Insurgency and conventional warfare must not be viewed in isolation. During counter-insurgency operations, it may be necessary to employ conventional warfare forces and tactics. The aim is to destroy the enemy's military potential by offensive operations conducted by formally organized combat forces. Operations such as Reindeer, Smoke Shell, and Protea are good examples. An insurgency war can escalate into a conventional war. The civil war in Angola is a good example. After the existing order and authority was eliminated, a civil war started, which, backed by Russian and Cuban support, developed into a semi-conventional war. Both the insurgency and the conventional effort succeeded, and a Marxist regime was established in Angola. The insurgent's acts of terror are aimed at the local population. He avoids contact with the security forces and attacks soft targets. His primary aim is to destroy the existing political system and to replace it with a Marxist government. To achieve this, he uses every available political, economical, and military coercion. Intimidation, abduction, sabotage, murder, and other forms of terrorism are used to intimidate the population, destroy their will to resist, and to break down their confidence in the defense mechanisms of the country. The aim, in short, is revolution. The task of the security forces is to protect the population against acts of terrorism, to maintain a high standard of morale and of confidence in the government's ability to overcome the insurgents. The enemy's effort to subvert the morale of our own forces must be neutralized and his military potential destroyed. The Army Colonel Mark Keir is the organization.
To meet the South African Army is organized, equipped and trained for both types of warfare. Counterinsurgency units are under command of the 8 territorial commands. The territorial commands are responsible to conduct counterinsurgency operations in their areas. The territorial commands are Western Province Command, Cape, East, Deel, Orange Free, Witwatersrand, Natal, and Western Command. Units for the conventional land battle are organized into brigades and divided at strategic places in the Republic. 7 Infantry Division in Kensington, 8 Armored Division in Johannesburg, with brigades at Johannesburg, Alberton, Potchefstroom, Durban and Cape Town.
Most members of the South African Army are ordinary citizens doing soldiering on a part-time basis, responsible for the administration and training of this part-time army. National servicemen are the main source of the South African Army. They are called up for training. Full-time force units consisting of permanent force leaders and national servicemen in training form the force in being. The force in being can be deployed for operations at very short notice. On completion of their initial period of training, national servicemen are posted to units of the citizen force or commando force. Citizen force and commando force units form the part-time force of the South African Army. Units of the part-time force must be called up and receive refresher training before they can be employed operationally. The citizen force consists of conventional warfare and counter-insurgency units and is the backbone of the Army's fighting capability. These forces are not area-bound and can be deployed anywhere for counter-insurgency or conventional operations.
Waarnemer kan verskaf wat reeds 1400 uur vanmiddag by hom sal aansluit in sy versamelgebied. Okay, goed, dan moet julle net koördineer waar kom julle waarnemers bymekaar? Dan vat jy daai doelwit 1600 uur en sorg dat jy klaar is 16:30.
The commando force is urban, rural and industrial commandos. They are spread all over the Republic. Most commando members are area-bound and will only be employed in their own domestic areas to combat insurgency. Rural commandos are responsible for effective area protection and intelligence coverage. Urban commandos are employed for protective tasks and provide reaction forces in urban areas. Industrial commandos protect key points and adjacent industries. Because the threat against the Republic is aimed at the entire population, members of all population groups serve in the South African Army. To utilize the female power resources of the country, women have been recruited into the Army since 1971. This releases more men for operational employment. Women are, however, not involved in active combat against the enemy. They are employed in a variety of support tasks in the various corps. The South African Army regards the individual soldier as its biggest single asset, and every measure is taken to restrict casualties in training and operations to the absolute minimum. To achieve this, sound planning, thorough preparation, and hard and intense training are essential. Training takes place progressively and systematically, and is directed at steeling the soldier not only to win every battle, but to survive it. From the start, great value is placed on physical fitness because it provides the soldier with the stamina to cope with the stresses and strains of battle. In battle, it is the fit soldier who stands the best chance of survival. The motto is, sweat saves blood.
On your own target! On your own time! Carry on!
The members of all corps follow a standard program of basic training in which emphasis is placed on skill at arms, physical fitness and battle drills. Much attention is also given to subjects such as camouflage and concealment, buddy aid and map reading.
Enemy observed! Reference point, green bush! Reference point, green bush! Enemy in green bush! Enemy in green bush! Fire! Fire! LMG group, remain.
LMG group, remain here.
LMG group, up!
During basic training, the soldier is taught to work with his fellow soldiers and to place his interest subordinate to those of the team. Another important principle is that all leaders are required to ensure that subordinates are cared for in every possible way. Self-discipline and a high standard of neatness in appearance and equipment are essential. He must execute orders smartly and promptly, and must put the interests of the group above his own. In this way, he becomes an asset to his platoon, his company, his unit, his army.
Jordan, your rifle is dirty. Sergeant, skryf je naam neer.
Number 8118. Yes, 3956.
After basic training, the members of the various corps follow their own individual training programs to qualify themselves in their own battle drills and the use and handling of their own particular weapons and equipment. Repetitive training is essential. It makes the handling of weapons and the execution of battle drills second nature to the soldier. His conscious intellectual capacity is then free to outsmart the enemy. The precision and attention to detail he learnt during basic training are now related to his weapons and equipment. This is reinforced again and again. After each phase, the soldier's standard of training is evaluated. A soldier is employed operationally only after he has reached the required standard of training. Sport is an integral part of military training. All types of sport promote fitness, perseverance, discipline, and the will to win. Individual sport contributes to the development of the individual's personality. Team sport promotes teamwork and esprit de corps. Potted sport enables the soldier who does not excel in any particular sport to reap the benefits of participation in sport. The wide variety of weapons, technical equipment, vehicles and other armaments, as well as the vast diversity of activities found in modern warfare, demand specialization. In the South African Army, specialization is achieved by having different corps, each with its specific role, characteristics and weapon systems. Within each corps, there are various musterings, each performing a specific task. A combat force is composed of units or elements of the different corps, each with a specific function, but integrated to form an effective fighting force. The size and shape of such a force is tailored to meet the nature and scope of the operation involved.